If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll have heard me talk all about cystic fibrosis, all about calf trio and the wonderful things it's doing for me. But what you won't have heard much is talk about diabetes. When you're managing two conditions, you tend to focus on the one that affects you more daily. And in my case, it felt like it was cystic fibrosis. And diabetes was kind of hidden down here. You'll have seen all my calf trio videos and how it's skyrocketing my health to a level that I never thought was even possible. What that's done is that's made diabetes become my top priority, and it's actually made me realise I'm struggling. All day I'm going up, down, up, down, up, down. Breakfast is a problem, after tea is a problem. I basically live my life a slave to diabetes. I've forgotten pretty much everything. It's like the Wild West. I'm just throwing insulin in me like I'm crazy. I'm guessing my numbers. I need to go back to basics. It's getting pretty unbearable. And when it gets to that point and it's affecting your life, that's when we sort it out. Because I want to focus on other things. I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on my social life. I want to focus on everything. I don't just want to focus on diabetes and have it limit me. I want to be in control of it. I want to be confident. And most of all, I want to live a long, happy, healthy life. There's a few massive fundamentals that I immediately need to start getting better on. 10 grams per 1 unit of insulin is what I should be doing. So in order to get that right, I need to be counting all the carbs that I eat every single meal and doing the insulin accordingly. At the moment, I'm guessing 10, 12, 8, but there's no science behind it really. It's just what I've always done, and what I've always done is clearly wrong. So it needs to be strict. That's the very first step in getting my diabetes right. I need to monitor my blood sugars. I'll do an Accu-chek finger prick before and 2 hours after each main meal, and I'll also be doing my Libre swipes throughout the day. If you have a look at my Libre, this monitors my blood sugar for 24 hours and shows me every day, every time I scan it, what my blood sugar is. There's a common theme. In the morning, I cannot get my blood sugars right. I could take my insulin an hour before, 10 minutes before, I can take 15 units, I can take 12 units. No matter what I do, my blood sugar will go crazy high and then drop at dinner. My body clearly has a low insulin absorption rate in the morning, and I can't work out the ratio for it. It's not 1 to 10. It's like treble that in the morning. And I've always had a bacon butter, so I've always had carb on fat. And to be honest, it's not that good for you anyway, even though everyone loves a bacon butter. But that's got to stop, and I'm going to try pork mixed in with a couple of nuts, because it's good for protein and it's also low in carbs, so I shouldn't have to take loads and loads of insulin. It's probably a good time to mention that throughout this video and throughout the next few weeks and the rest of my life, I won't be doing anything that I can't commit to. So I'm not going to come in here and go, oh my god, I'm not going to eat carbs, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go on this diet, because I'm not. It needs to be realistic for my life. So diabetes needs to fit in with me just as much as I fit in with diabetes. I'm going to have to start weighing my intake a little bit so I can match the amount of carbs I'm having, get into the rhythm of knowing what I'm putting in my body. Throughout this video, you're going to see me using MyFitnessPal. I can easily scan the barcode of any product I buy and it'll instantly give me the nutritional value, including carbohydrates. My blood sugars have started off nice and level, ready to try my brand new breakfast. Let's get one thing straight. It's not as instantly satisfying as a bacon butter, but the macros in it are a lot better. 6 grams of carbs in the whole thing. It's more about the fat and the protein. It's got enough fat to do my calf trio, and the protein level's quite high as well. So all in all, I think it's a good breakfast meal. I've got to admit, I do feel very, very weird doing 2 units of insulin in the morning as opposed to my usual 15, 16. So it's all trial and error, so I'm not sure if in 2 hours it's going to skyrocket or not. But I started doing this video on a Sunday, so that explains the cool PJs and the 11:30 breakfast. It's a bit later than usual, but tomorrow we'll be back to normal. FYI, a good blood sugar is between 4 and 8. Just waiting for Liv to get ready, because we're going to have a quick walk to Asda in this glorious, glorious weather. But it's 1:30, 2 hours after my breakfast, and I've just done my blood sugars, and they are absolutely outstanding. Now, one thing you will notice is that my Libre is out of whack compared to my Accu-chek. that is the most accurate reading of your blood sugars, because obviously it's in the end of your finger and it's the quickest and most accurate way you can get your levels. The Libre is still useful because that tells me trends, whether I'm going up or down, but you always have to take that with a little bit of a pinch of salt. So if you're high or low, or you want a proper reading, then you need to be using your finger pricker. So far, so good on the new breakfast, because by now, with a bacon butter, I'd have been 16, 17, ready to drop all the way down suddenly. So it's already going smoother.
Pretended then.
Just walking home here with bad man ting roadman live.
Like a butt plug.
They do look like a butt plug. My blood sugars have stayed very, very stable, which is amazing, because if I walked around Aldi or Asda before, they drop down, and I'd have to then start eating sugar, or alternatively I'd have to be injected insulin now. So when it comes to having my dinner, which I'm going to have in a minute, then I'm starting on an even blood sugar, so I can just have what I need to have. 38 grams of carbs, 4 units of insulin. Shout out to the iPort Advance. This thing makes it so easy to do your insulin wherever you are. You can be in the middle of a restaurant, bust out your gut and be gone. Scotch pie demolished, sugar's on point. I got took the piss out of quite a bit on one of my last videos because I don't train legs. So I'm making an amends for it now, and I'm going to start training them. My blood sugar's at the moment at 8.9 going up, which isn't really a bad thing because legs will drop my blood sugars significantly. What did I tell you guys about legs? I hope you're happy, you made me hypo. 4 gummy bears later, we're back in range, about to eat a Sunday dinner, 7 units of insulin in that. Usually after tea, I take a severe dip straight away, then my blood sugars would go too high and I'd have to do insulin then to even it back out. But just look at that. 2 hours after my tea and I'm completely level. So I got a little bit hungry, and I've learnt something new. I've only really got to do 3 units with a cheese butter. That's mental. I've been doing about 5 or 6. I'm not done there though, I've made a horrendous discovery. 9.5 grams in 200 millilitres of milk. I've never done any insulin with milk, ever. This is full fat milk though, not that cloudy water skimmed milk. It's 10:30 and the day's done. I'm not eating anything else now. Although I've had to put a lot more effort in today, it's proper paid off. So if you have a look at today's chart of my overall blood sugars for the day, it's quite steady. Comparing it to the 1st of January, it was all over the place. So clearly today it's made a massive difference. And overall, I felt better because I've not been going high and low and feeling crappy all day. This has been quite a low calorie day, but that's okay because sometimes it just happens like that. So here's me congratulating myself on how much of a brilliant day it's been. And then at 11:15, my Libre is telling me that I'm going low. So I'm 3.9 on my Libre at the moment, and I suspect that when I do my blood glucose properly in a minute on the Accu-chek, it's going to be even lower. So first of all, I'm going to treat this hypo real quick, and then I'm going to discuss why I think this has happened, because at the moment, and I'm going to do it with 3 or 4 of these sweets and then a glass of milk. So the idea behind that, and I think this is right, I'll Google it later, is that you bring your sugars back up and then you have the milk once they're back there, just so they don't trickle down again. Oops. So I've taken care of my hypo and I've narrowed it down to 2 reasons why I think it could have happened. The first one is when I had my cheese butter, you'll notice that I checked my Libre for my blood sugars, but I didn't check my Accu-chek, and potentially I could have been a lot lower than I thought I was. The second reason why I think it could have been is because I've trained legs today, and I don't often train legs, and it takes quite a big toll on me, and my legs are knackered at the moment. So I think it could be my energy from that being burnt and having an effect on my blood sugars. But it's diabetes, innit? God knows. I've spent 81% of today in Target. I've had 2 small hypos. I'll take that as a win. Started the day with exactly the same breakfast, which worked beautifully. Look at that line. It stayed perfect all the way up until dinner. This is progress. 60 grams of smoked salmon, 30 grams of pop chips, 2 slices of bread, 5 units of insulin. Just going to the garage to get a Costa coffee, and I've made another grim discovery. Did you know a latte has 15 grams of carbs in it? Since my blood sugars are going down, I'm going to use the carbs in this to take me back up a little bit. I'm also going to have a sneaky couple of chocolates as well. I'm going to have 3 Goulons. Either way, it's a party. That little risky manoeuvre's paid off. It's got me through to tea. 375 grams of potato and a wrap with chicken breast, mayo and parmesan cheese. 9 units of insulin. I think I may have done too much insulin with the salmon sandwich. Well, shit the bed. I did my insulin, I had something to eat at 20 to 5. It's now 10 to 6 and it looks like I'm having a hypo from my Libre. That's a bit funky, isn't it? So that's just further proof that the Libre can be a tiny bit out. It's 7:35 and I didn't do anything to treat that hypo and my blood sugars have stabilised. I'm just about to have a brew and watch a film with a couple of biscuits, and this is shocking fact number 2. These Goulon sugar-free biscuits have got 6 carbs each of them. So I'm going to have 2 and I'm on to do a unit of insulin, which I have never done before. I usually batter about 6 or 7 of them without even thinking about it. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? Need to be checking what we put in our mouths. I know I said I was going to have 2 biscuits, but I couldn't help myself and I've had 2 more. So I've had a total of 4. My Libre is telling me that I'm high at the moment, but I'm not because I've been checking my Accu-chek and it's well within range. So today has been a bit of a weird one because my Accu-chek has told me all day that I've been absolutely fine, yet my Libre says that I'm 60%. Even when I've had lows, I've checked and they've not really been low. They've been close. And then a high, which it's reading high now, is not a high because I'm around 7 and I have been for 2 checks now. So the Libre today is intent on shafting me. I reckon I'm at about 90%. I love a good KFC. I'm going to have a wicked Zinger Tower meal. I've been feeling a bit lethargic because I've been eating less naturally because I'm not constantly trying my hardest to keep my blood sugars up. So I'm on about 1,700 calories a day, where usually I blast about 2,500. It's better. It's a lot better because I don't feel the need to constantly eat. And my day's quite freed up with it really because I'm just eating at normal times. But now I've got to make sure I get the calories in. My breakfast has worked a treat again. I've been in range all day. Last night I went low. And I think I went low because of them biscuits. Even though I had 4 instead of the 2 I did insulin for, I still went low. So maybe them diabetic biscuits live up to their name. Sorted out my hypo pretty easy. I just had a couple of sweets and went back to bed. And this morning it was level again. So every time I've ate a wicked Zinger Tower meal in the past, I've done a different varying amounts of insulin. I might have done 10, might have done 12, might have done 13. Because that's always because my blood sugars are either coming up too high or the too low. So I've never done it really when I've just been consistent throughout the day. So I've added all the ingredients up in there in terms of carbs using MyFitnessPal, which again is banging, and I want to do 11 units. In fact, there's a few like points over 11 units, so I'm going to do 12 and see what that does to me. I'll do a little bit more rather than a bit less because I want to test it out really. So if you're struggling with your diabetes and you just learning how to do it, or like me, you're relearning how to do it, then there's gonna be a big trial and error period. It's unavoidable. So what you need to do is you need to be making sure. Oh man. You need to be making sure that you've got the right mindset. And you're not making yourself worried about what scores you're going to see, because you're going to see highs, you're going to see low, and even when you feel like you got it perfect, you're still going to be bottoming and you're still going to be topping. don't be scared and don't be put off about the scores you see. It was like yesterday, last night, with them biscuits. All I'm going to do now is try them out without insulin. I'll fix it. I'll fix all of it. I'll learn every day, and as long as I keep it up, I will sort my diabetes out, and hopefully this has helped you a little bit. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I've felt like crap for a while now, like I said, and I've got a diabetic review coming up in 2 weeks, and I want to go into that diabetic review with my head screwed on, knowing what I need to do to help me. I don't want to go there and ask them what they're going to do, how are they going to save me. I want to save myself, and I want it to be sustainable for the future. So I've not changed a great deal. I'm still going to eat stuff. I'm just going to do the right amount of insulin and let it flow naturally. So the bottom line is, and this is the bottom line, you ignore diabetes to try and get yourself an easy life, and you won't get yourself an easy life. You'll be shafted by it, because I was constantly eating food every 2 seconds. I was up, down, my mood was bad. Liv was saying that my mood's been better this 2 days, but I haven't noticed it, because you don't notice your own mood, do you? But I tell you what, living like this and putting a bit more effort into it is fantastic. It pays off massively. I'm also chugging this in because I'm going for a crazy training session later with mate Aaron, and we do it in his little weird home gym in his garage. It's like proper Rocky style, but I go a bit too hard when I'm there, so I need all the energy I can get, but I also need my blood sugars to be level, so that's why we're taking precautions when we eat our KFC. What I will say is, the hardest part of changing my diabetes around has been doing this video, because I've had to monitor everything I do, and I've also had to monitor everything I do for the video and make sure it's presentable for you guys. So I hope it's helped you, and if it has, give me a like and subscribe, because I don't get enough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like my content's getting pretty good and I'm not getting a subscriber count I want. Finally, using a Libre with a pinch of salt, your Accu-chek and MyFitnessPal, you are able to take control of your life again. You are able to get back that precious time from diabetes, and it can be so simple if you just put in the effort. And I've realised that now after a long time, that I'm going to put in the effort, I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to keep putting in the effort, and diabetes ain't going to be a risk for me anymore. So the next thing you'll see from this video is a little 2-second update on how my blood sugars have gone 2 hours after this, and then I'll see you next time.